gentlemen and ladies doing today? How y'all doing? This is Lucifer here, business and spiritual consultant. As always, I hope you guys are doing good. I hope you guys are doing well, man. Um, okay, so first things first, man. Um, so I did a video. In that video, I feel like I was being harsh on people a little bit. Not really, but a lot of people are sensitive, and I kind of noticed that a lot of people can dish things at you, but you'd be surprised when you start dishing out shit that they can't take it either. So like it's I'm gonna redo it. I'm gonna explain. And the thing is, what we're gonna talk about today is the power of observation, the power of to be an observer. Because the thing is, that's what I was saying in my other video. In my other video, I was saying like humans do evolve. Like everybody feels like humans haven't evolved in thousands of years. How can this be? Because that's bullshit. Of course you evolve. You evolve physically and you evolve human. The difference in species. Sorry, I can't pronounce it because of my. The difference is in certain species is that animals evolve over time and they evolve rapidly. It's also because they don't have to use their minds to live in the wild or the jungle. I mean, I'm not saying animals are stupid. Monkeys are not stupid. Some birds are very intelligent, like crows. Crows are very intelligent. Like people always say, you got a bird brain, but ain't nobody ever said you got a crow brain, right? Because crows are very intelligent birds. Like if they're not the most intelligent birds in the birds species, tigers and lions too. They're very intelligent, man. They're very wise too, kind of. Some of them, because there's a lot of. If you look at the general masses in the lion section, the tiger section, some of them do some weird shit. All right. So, as of monkeys too, some of them do some weird shit, but they had consistent evolution. Bobcats, cats, blah 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 blah. Different species of cats, different types of cats, whatever. Right. So, but that's because of how they were created. They were born on four legs. They live in the middle of the jungle. There's a bunch of trees. Some area they live in trees. Trees were harder or trees were softer. So their mandibles evolved because of all that activity, right? So human beings do evolve physically very fast. You know what I mean? You can be fat and become 10 in a couple of months or a year. In a year you can become you can be skinny and become fat. In a year you can become fat and become skinny. You can be very muscled or toned or defined or no muscles at all. So for humans, evolution happens extremely fast, faster than the eye can see. And that's what's going on right now. The human evolution is happening consistently on an individual basis consistently. The reason why it's happening on a consistent basis is because everybody's listening to a whole bunch of shit that's telling them this and telling them that. Like you're listening to the Discovery Channel telling you what's real and what's not. You know what I mean? But at the end of the day, you're the only one that knows what's real and what's not. You know what I mean? It's not the Discovery Channel. You know what I mean? So look at here. A couple years ago, 25, 10 years ago, right? 15 years ago, people were not talking about telepathy like they're talking about telepathy today. Why is that? What's going on? You know what I mean? Like people are not talking about manifesting like they're talking about manifesting today. What's going on? There wasn't as much witches as there is today, or spiritual people, spiritualists as there is today. What's going on with that? That's because humans are evolving. We're evolving beyond a certain level. Our consciousness is evolving, and because our consciousness is evolving, our brain is evolving too. So the inside of us, there's things going on. Our synapses are evolving to take a bigger workload, right? Our synapses are evolving to take a better workload because when you were a child, you thought um, everything was about the birds and the bees. But now you're like on the level, well, you know, you are what you eat. Let's put it like this. Let's put it like this, man. You are what you eat, right? So as a child, you read about the birds and the bees. So you know about the birds and the bees. And then they teach you about an esoteric, occult a type of shit called God, right? You know, this occult education, this esoteric education is brought to you when you're old enough to speak and you're old enough to read. So now you're in some spirituality shit. You know what I mean? You don't know that you're in some spirituality shit, but you are what you eat, right? The proof that you are what you eat is when you're 10, 12, 13, 14 years old, you go to the fucking church, and then as you progress, you wake up and you're like, oh, I'm God. When you get to 20, 25, 26, 27, 30 years old, whatever, right? So in your 20s, you're kind of like, I'm God. In your teen years, you would still, like, oh, there is a God. You know, before that, you have no idea of God. So you are what you eat. Whatever you digest, whatever you learn, you become that thing, right? So what you know is what you know, and what you know makes you evolve, right? So if you don't know nothing, if you don't know shit, you're not evolving. You know what I mean? So this is a perfect segue to talk about Elmera. I'm sorry, man. I'll stop clowning. But that was a pretty good pun right there. So, anyways, man. So, anyways, bro. Like, well, I don't want to clown Elmera, man. I feel bad for him actually, because this motherfucker, he's on. I had a message, man, and I received a message, and this nigga is sticking needles in his arms and shit right now, bro. Like, he's taking hard drugs. I don't know if he always took needles. I think that's fucking crazy. If you smoking a joint, that's good, man. Like that. I mean, that's good. That's not good or bad, but I mean, like, that's not bad, right? But like, if you sticking needles in your arm, my dude, like you fucking tripping. You know what I mean? Like, hey, man. Like, that's fucking crazy. I don't really doubt, or maybe he's gonna start taking needles, because I just heard spirits say he's using needles, but when the spirits say he's using needles, that could be in the future, that could have been in the past, or it could be right now. So I'm not really sure, you know what I mean? But I just heard he's using needles, you know what I mean? So my boy is on some hardcore fucking drugs right now, man, and you need to quit it. You know what I mean, bro? Or maybe he's using needles for, some kind of like voodoo and shit. Like, I don't know. I don't think so. That's not what they told me. They didn't tell me it was for magic. They said he's using needles. I don't think spirits are not hip enough to not understand the difference if they tell me that shit. I think he's on fucking severe drugs and shit, man. Hear my boy, but yo, like that's insane. Like, I don't want to see people, in that situation. I had a girlfriend once that used to take needles, and it was crazy. It was nuts. Like she was like using more than usual. Like she was using more than usual, and she was addicted. So it's crazy, man. Like, got to go to the bathroom somewhere and shit, and in the middle of a dinner, You know what I mean? Like you're out on a date. She's like, I gotta use it. Like I like okay. You know what I mean? The blood coming out and shit. Like, nah, it ain't cool. You know what I mean? So I don't know. Like, like I don't care what happens to this guy. Because apparently he's on this revenge shit, and he wants to like, blah blah blah. That's his shit. Whatever. I get it. How you live. But that's still fucked up shit. And that's still fucked up shit. So, anyways, this nigga using needles right now. He's playing games with people and shit like that. So let's look. Let's finish this story right here. Let's finish this story right here, nigga. Let's finish this story right here. Elmera is racist. Elmera's racist, and that shit disturbs me. Cause look, I don't do voodoo because I think voodoo is it's too much. There's too much shit. I mean, like, demonology is hard. There's a lot of like mathematics and drawing and sigils and shit like that and blah blah blah, potions and blah blah fucking blah, right? You know what I mean? You gotta buy a whole bunch of shit, candles, whatever, right? It's not because it's fucking hard that I don't like voodoo. It's just, I don't know. It's just, I feel like if you're gonna use demons, you might as well use demons. You know what I mean? If you're gonna use demons, you might as well use demons. I always had that idea in my head. I always had that idea in my head. I always been like that, man. If you're gonna do some demon shit, you might as well use a fucking demon and be done with it. You know what I mean? Like, why beat around the bush? And like, there's no reason to beat around the bush. But the thing is, hold up. I'm not trying to rule nobody's fucking pockets because there's a lot of fucking voodoo practitioners here. I ain't trying to do that. I believe in my shit. You believe in your shit. And that's fine. You know what I mean? And maybe down the road, your shit is going to be part of my shit. I don't know. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. I'm speculating. You know what I mean? So, but at the end of the day, in Elmera's case, man, y'all listening, and I'm not even gonna say something bad here. I don't even know why I said that for. So, anyways, like, what disturbs me with his fucking channel is his goddamn fucking, traditional shit that he got going on, bro. Like, ain't no motherfucking voodoo practitioners. I don't care if you fucking Spanish, Chinese, nigga. If you're mixed, if you're Blackanese, if you're Japanese, if you're fucking Koreanese. I don't care if you fucking Russian, Mexican, both at the same time, Hungarian, nigga. Everybody can practice voodoo. Look, listen, man. Haiti is the country. Okay, so Haiti is this is how. Nobody says that shit anymore since the goddamn disaster happened, right? Since the fucking earthquake happened and the whole goddamn place went under the fucking water. Which is something that my dad always predicted. My dad always said, man, Haiti's gonna go under the motherfucking water one day, man. And he was fucking right. But I was like, like, he was fucking right. Everybody knows he was fucking right because, there's too much corruption and shit like that, man. It's a beautiful place. But, there's too much corruption. Everybody's fucking stealing shit. Like, and I'm not talking about, like, I'm not talking about the population and shit. I'm talking about the government. The government over there ain't shit. All y'all niggas ain't shit. Yeah, for real, dog. Like, all y'all niggas ain't shit. So, my dad always said, man, Haiti's gonna drown one day, bro. And he was fucking right. And I knew he was right. I always knew he was right. I always fucking knew he was right. The first time he said it, I didn't even say shit. I was just, he right. Like, like, when somebody says some shit and it's probably gonna happen. And it happened. So, anyways, before that shit happened, so back in the days, I'm talking about the 90s here, man. the 90s here, man. Oh yeah. I got some new energy coming in. A lot of people got new energy coming in. Don't worry about it, man. It's fucking normal. So, anyways, I people used to say Haiti was a country without borders. That's how they used to call Haiti. Haiti was a country without borders, man. And that has a spiritual signification. Also in voodoo, because there are white gods. There are white voodoo gods. There are African voodoo gods. There are Dominican voodoo gods. There are Haitian voodoo gods, of course. There are Cuban voodoo gods. Spanish voodoo gods. English, Welsh voodoo gods. There's like all kinds of shit. All kinds of shit. Right? So they all speak Creole, though. Like, they all speak Creole, though. I'm gonna give you that. I'll give you that. You know, but it's a spirit. You know, of course, the spirit is a representation of. There's Irish voodoo gods. So, but there is a, because some people are descendants, like personal bloodlines of these voodoo gods. You know, they're born under that star. There are personal bloodlines of that relative thing. So that's why you have a lot of French. You know, there's a lot of French names that are still around and stuff like that. Anyway, that's another story for another day. So the thing is, so you can't walk around town saying that, oh, if you white, you can't practice no voodoo. Who the fuck are you? A fucking reverse KKK nigga? Like, what is wrong with you? You know what I mean? And I feel like I come off on. I mean, I feel like 222. You still thinking that way? That's bullshit to me. And I don't understand other people that sit there. You know, we're in the future. This is goddamn. You know, we're in the future right now. You know what I mean? We got flying cars, all kinds of shit, man. We got all kinds of technology right now, man. Niggas is still sitting there talking about like, you're too white, or you're not white enough, or you're not black enough, bruh. Like, the heck on out of here with that shit, man. None of this shit has anything to do with your skin color, bruh. Like, none of this shit has anything to do with the skin color. Of course, there's still racism around. There's still people that are not highly evolved. But don't worry about the people that are not highly evolved. Worry about the people that are evolved, right? And I sit here and I'm sitting thinking and shit, like, this nigga always talking about white people this, white people that. But the thing is, like, you know what I mean? Like, who the fuck are you, man? Are you a real... I mean, well, whatever. You know what I mean? Because he practices dark magic. You know, I feel like he's giving a bad name to dark magic practitioners, man. Because just because I'm a dark practitioner, magician, that doesn't mean I'm racist, man. Like, me personally, I practice dark magic. You know what I mean? But I ain't racist. I don't care what color you are, nigga. Like, shit. But I'm not gonna lie. I probably don't like black folks if I'm gonna go down. If I go down that road, you know, I'll probably shit. If we're gonna go there, I don't like black people. You know, but that's horrible. That's a horrible thing to say. I'm sorry. You know, but there's a point there. There's a point to be made, man. If we're gonna hate some shit, if everybody starts hating shit, you'd be surprised what motherfuckers are gonna start hating. You know what I mean? You might think this nigga's on your side, and you'd be like, nah, nigga, I fucking hate black people. You know what I mean? And you go join the white people and shit like that. You like, oh shit, okay. I might have fucked up. I might have made a mistake here. You know what I mean? I might have made a fucking mistake. You know. Oh, sorry for telling your secret to the whole fucking world too. You know what I mean? I didn't want to put your laundry out there. I don't really fucking know you, and I don't fucking care either. So sorry. You know, damn. Yeah, that was like probably my most savage moment ever. Okay, so like I was saying, I feel like the nigga's a little bit regressive and shit. And I'm not gonna blame that on the drugs either. I don't think it's because he's high on heroin that shit, you know, on heroin, you know what I mean? That's the reason why he's fucking racist. He's fucking racist because he wants to be fucking racist. You know what I mean? And I think it's retarded. I think it's a retarded thing to do. I think you know, I wouldn't. I mean, he probably had some white clients, he probably did have some white clients, but the perception that he has about white people is very negative. You know what I mean? And he says it all over his goddamn video. Like, he has a lot of resentment towards white people. Maybe he was bullied by white people when he was younger. You know, I never really was bullied by white people when I was younger. I got bullied by black people because I went to a black school. So I don't know what that feels like. I do know about racism. I do know about hardcore racism, like motherfuckers like Hicks and shit, like, you know what I mean, like hillbilly ass, niggas and shit. That I know, you know what I mean, and it's pretty bad. It's bad, but I don't really blame. I forgive the motherfuckers though. I forgive because I know. I mean, like, it's because they're being lied to. Like, everybody's being lied to. You know what I mean? Like, they're being lied. It's not that I practice forgiveness. I don't practice forgiveness. Part of my language, but I still forgive them in some shape or form because they're just ignorant. They don't know. You know what I mean? Not that I have pity. Well, I do have pity for him because he will never know the things that I know. You know what I mean? He will never experience the things that I have experienced. You know what I mean? Everybody says black vagina is the same as white vagina. Maybe to you. But I had, you know what I mean? Like, if I was racist, I wouldn't have experienced those different colors of the rainbow. You know what I mean? Pause. No pun intended. So I feel bad for the motherfucker because he's never going to have those experiences. You know what I mean? Even if he kills me, you know what I mean? I'm still going to die a happier man than he will because, you know what I mean? I experience beauty that you'll never know, until the time of your death. And there's some things that are worse than death. You know what I mean? Like, being blind is not, I don't want to diss blind people. I don't want to have a pity party here, but being blind sucks. You know what I mean? Imagine if you couldn't see all of these fucking things, right? Like, you're born blind, right? You've never seen anything. None of it. You've never seen any color, nothing. You know what I mean? That fucking sucks. You know what I mean? That sucks ass. You know what I mean? And I respect blind people, man. I'm not saying that. I'm not trying to make fun of blind folks or some shit like that, but that fucking sucks. At the end of the day, I mean, they deal with it and they got like superpowers and shit, but still though, you know what I mean? And of course, a blind person can be way more, because there's people, and that's the thing, that's the dichotomy here. You know what I mean? That's the yin and the yang right there, because a blind man may have seen more beautiful things than you have your whole life, and you have your eyesight, right? What I mean by that is, a blind man, what I mean by seeing is a blind man would have experienced more beautiful things that you have no idea about your whole entire life. You know what I mean? Might. You know what I mean? I'm not saying that's the case, but he might. You never know. You know what I mean? Because when you're blind, there's different senses that wake up, and you know what I mean? Like, so shit is just different. So a blind man could end up having seen the world in a way better way than you have. And you've seen everything, and you can see colors, you can taste. I mean, you can look at what you're eating, you can look at everything. You know what I mean? And the blind man could have experienced those things 10 times better. So it's really how you perceive life, and that's the thing about racism. It's the thing of how you perceive life. So I feel like Elmera. I mean, the weird thing is, I don't. It's kind of iffy to me to listen to people that want to listen to this dude. Like, I mean, he doesn't do that many videos. He doesn't really talk that much. You know what I mean? But that's the weird part is, like, you know what I mean? He doesn't talk that much, and he doesn't do that many videos, but a bunch of people are piling in and backing him up. But I don't know if that's true. Those could be fake accounts. I'm pretty sure he has fake accounts too. He probably commenting on his own shit. I don't know. I don't have fake accounts. I don't comment on my own shit. You know what I mean? I'm not that in. It's not that deep for me. You know what I mean? But other people do watch that shit, and it propagates a negative. It propagates a negative shit. it propagates negativity. You know what I mean? It's negative way of thinking. Because and let me tell you, man, if you're white and you're listening to this shit, you know what I mean, and you want to practice some voodoo and you're interested, go ahead. Go ahead. Yeah, I mean, go right the fuck on the head. Go ahead. Yeah, the worst that could happen is they tell you no. That's the worst that could happen. Shit, motherfuckers tell me no sometimes, man. It has nothing to do with me being black or not. I mean, like, some niggas, sometimes I ask shit to tell me no too. Like, you know what I mean? Often, goddamn it. So the worst that could happen is they tell you no. That's it. I mean, you ain't gonna die. You know, they're not gonna fucking haunt you for the rest of your fucking life and fucking poltergeist the shit out of you. You know what I mean? Like, none of that shit gonna happen, man. These motherfuckers are way more noble than you think they are. Like, they're more dignified than people give them credit for, man. And same thing for demons, because right now motherfuckers is talking about, like, people talking about demons doing this, demons doing that. You know, the occult world, the new world orders using, you know, the new world orders using demons to do shit. Get the fuck out of here with that garbage, man. Like, you know what I mean? It's all a fucking setup, man. We've been set up, bro. It's a goddamn setup, man. That's all it is, man. It's like, to me, I don't want to make demons. I don't want to make my sons, sound like they're just objects to me, because they're not. They're not objects to me, and they're not objects to me. But it's like a gun is not evil in essence. It's just a gun. It's a tool. It's an object. You know what I mean? It's a solid matter form, right, of a certain category. So the gun is not evil or good, but whoever picks up the gun could be evil or he could be good. So you use demonology, it doesn't necessarily mean that you're gonna be this fucking, evil entity and shit like that. It depends on what you do with it, man. You can do whatever you want with demonology, man. And the worst part is they will help you become an expert at what exactly you. And this is why, to me, that's why demonology is way more awesome. Is because they're gonna help you become an expert at what you do. Like, they're gonna help you become better at what you do. Like, they're gonna do the thing that you ask them, and then they're gonna show you how you can do it better. So demons, to me, are awesome. You know what I mean? And that's very different. It's the first time I ever see that. You know what I mean? In all my magical practices, I've never seen spirits that are so ready to help out than demons. I don't know what it is, but they have this attitude. Of course, maybe because I'm fucking special or some shit like that. I don't know. Or it's because I'm their daddy, so they give me special treatment and shit. So pause. I'm not gonna use that word again. I'm the all father. You know what I mean? Since I'm the all father, you know what I mean? That's probably why. But nah, that's bullshit. I'm pretty sure they do that shit with everybody else. They're just like that. They're very dignified. They're very royal. I mean, like, and they like to have fun too. You know what I mean? Because a lot of people start tripping when demons start acting like demons, bro. Like, and it's normal. I mean, like, if you're not used to that kind of shit, and they start wilding out, you know what I mean? You're probably gonna be scared and shit. But voodoo too. Like, voodoo spirits wild out too. Like, they do weird shit. You know what I mean? They do weird shit sometimes, and so there's not really, like, it's not. You can't say it's evil just because you're not used to something. You know what I mean? Like, until that thing has actually hurt an innocent person or some shit like that, it doesn't mean that it's not evil. You know what I mean? Like, you're listening to this guy, to this God person. Anyways, I'm not gonna get into all that, but if you look at God and how many people he has killed, you know what I mean? Check out how many people God killed and how many people Lucifer killed. It's never specified that Lucifer killed anybody. You You know what I mean? But it's very specified that God will murder entire nations. You know, if he has to, he will destroy. He will let people take his name and murder entire sets of nationalities for conversion, for them to convert into Christianity. So, like this, you know, it's easy to say it's the devil, but I don't really think it's the devil that did that shit, man. Like, you know, and even if it was, you got the power to stop the fucking things. Or if you didn't stop the fucking things because you didn't really give a fuck in the first place. So, you know, it is what it is. You know what I mean? You want to call me a murderer, but you murdered more people than I have. Like, that's that makes no damn sense, you know. So on the case of Elmera, this what gonna happen. Elmera's fucking up right now, man. Um, you know, he's gonna need some protection, which he already has. I'm not stupid. I know he has protection. Yeah, I know. I know he has protection. I know he's like, you know, he has protection. You know, but I'm telling you what's gonna happen. You know, just like, you know, Asmodeus is on your ass this time. Like, Asmodeus want a piece of you. You know, last time it was Beelzebub that wanted a piece of you. You know, and I know you felt it. I know you was going through your paces. And now Asmodeus want a piece of you now. So, you know, Asmodeus is on it right now. And this new energy that y'all feeling right now, that's because of Asmodeus. This is for some reason, you know, because there's a lot of things going on. You know, the world elites, the powers that be, you know, are, you know, consistently making up stories and consistently making up spells and curses and stuff like that. And, you know, putting people in a certain situation on a consistent basis just to fuck with people right now and shit. So there's a lot of people, it's not just Asmodeus, but to me, since I'm a demonologist, it was Asmodeus that came to me, and Asmodeus is letting me know what he's doing in the background. So and there's other people, there's other players in this game too that are all trying to protect us and you know, and give us the victory that we duly deserve and shit. So you know, I talked to like I talked to Shiva, um, the great god of death, the other day, and he told me that these people don't matter. You know what I mean? He told me those people don't matter. That's what he told me. He told me a lot of things, but that's the thing that that's relevant. Um, he told me these people don't matter. You know what I mean? We're talking about the god of death. So the god of death, the Hindu god of death, Shiva, um, told me that these people don't matter. You know what I mean? So what we need to do is we need to stop being afraid of the future. You know, it's easier said than done. You know, I have a lot of difficulty not being secure about my own fucking future and things along those lines. Um, you know, there's a lot of interference. You know, they're causing a lot of interference. They're causing interference right now as I speak. You know, there's a lot of interference, and there's a lot of we have a lot of support. We have a lot of support. There's a lot of interference, but we have a lot of support too. You know, so anyways, like I said before, on the Elmera tip, you've attracted some demons to your on your case because you're fucking around. Because the thing is, you know, and I think by now, I don't think people understand what he's doing, neither why he's doing it, um, and that's gonna start to crumble on your head. It's gonna start crumbling down on your head. People are gonna start realizing that, you know, you're playing this game and it's not authentic. You know, I don't think it comes from the heart, and people are gonna start questioning you. You know what I mean? That shit's gonna it's gonna start happening. So that's gonna be like the first step. You know what I mean? You're gonna start seeing, you know, I would say middle step. It's gonna be the middle step. Some shit is gonna happen, and then people are gonna start seeing like cracks in your armor, and yeah, it's about time. I don't, like I said before in my other video, I don't really think the taco eaters out here really care, because all these, like I don't really care. I don't think they care. Like I don't really think they care. Of course, Asmodeus protects me, of course, for obvious reasons, but I'm not the only one. I have other people that I have presented these great ancient warlords and gods and princes and kings and shit to other people, and they're there for these people too. They're part of the fucking family and shit, right? So they're not gonna let their family die and shit like that. They're not gonna let people just sack, run a train on them and shit like that. You know what I mean? That shit's not gonna happen. Um, I already knew Elmera was concocting a plan, or he was about to do some shit before it happened. I just didn't react on it because I was busy with something else. But I got something for you. It's coming. Don't worry. I got something for you. Um, I don't know why you want it, but I guess I'm gonna give you what you want. Um, kind of shit is fucked up. It's weird. It's weird. So they do these things in front of people's eyes, and people don't even notice. Like, people don't even notice. People don't take notice. They don't understand. None of these people understand. A lot of fucking viewers are just watching this shit, watching everything, and they just watch. You know what I mean? They're observers. You know what I mean? And anyways, so power of observation. That was what I was going to talk about today. The power of observation. Observation. When you're an observer, you are God, right? The God of the Bible, you know what I mean? The God of the Bible, the all-encompassing energy, laws of attraction, all that shit. That's because of the observer. That's what God is. God is the observer. So you have a lot of power when you're the observer. Me, I would call them the little people. You know what I mean? Or the sheep. You know what I mean? The sheep, the lamb, right? Those people got a lot of power. A lot of people underestimate the power of people. You know what I mean? Just regular, everyday people. They got power too. It's just on a different form. You know what I mean? It's kind of like if you might be a powerful manifester, you might be a powerful creator and shit, which is fine. That's great. But you have to understand, you are an individual. You are not a nation. You are a individual, right? You have decided to take the red pill, wake the heck up, and blow your, and blow up on a nuclear level, right? So now you're an atom bomb, right? You're an atom bomb, a bomb of atom. So now you're just like wow, right? So you're this powerful manifester, powerful creator, blah blah blah. Things that happens is the general masses, they're powerful because if they all think about blowing something up, that thing is gonna blow up. Because everybody has the same kind of power. Everybody got the same kind of energy, right? That they can use. This energy, the same energy that you use to manifest things, is a consistent thing. It's a benign thing in the universe. It's nuclear power. It's solar power. It's atomic. You're using atomic power. I'm an atomic man, right? And all the other manifestors out there, all the other creators out there, they're all atomic men, right? They're men of the atom, solar. You know what I mean? They're solar men of the atom. That was my favorite comic book. One of my favorite comic books when I was a teenager. I used to have comic books about Solar, the man of the atom. Shit was crazy. You know what I mean? I just thought it was badass. I just liked the character. You know what I mean? It resonated with me, man. Solar, man of the atom. So that shit is real. So Solar, the man of the atom wasn't a comic book. It was reality. It was real shit. And that's what we are today. We are Solar, man of the atom. But everybody else is also Solar, man of the atom. Some people don't know. A lot of people don't know they Solar. You know what I mean? A lot of people don't know that they're the man of the atom, right? You know, a lot of people think, you know, it was a whole era. You know what I mean? Einstein and shit, Cold War, cold fusion, and all that shit, right? So, a man as a whole is the general masses, the sheeple, can be considered as one entity. You know what I mean? When you get to my level, everybody on the planet is actually one person, has one consciousness. And then there's the male consciousness too, that's another person. And then there's the female consciousness too, that's another person. So there's three entities that actually, there's a trinity that actually represents the human consciousness, the human entity, the human spirit. You know what I mean? And when you are solar, you can communicate with the male entity. You can communicate with the female entity. You can communicate with the all-encompassing, the animus and the anima at the same time. Because there are three distinct ways, patterns, waves of thinking. And they don't necessarily agree with each other at all times. God damn, that's crazy shit. Y'all heard what I said? Did you hear what I just said? That's some crazy shit. So, you can communicate with all three of these at a specific time, whatever. If you choose to, you can communicate with all three of these. But when you're at my level, you don't see... I mean, in the beginning, you're going to start seeing signs. In the beginning, you're going to start seeing signs. And then later on, you're going to start hearing voices. And then you're going to have telepathy. All right? You're going to start hearing what other people are thinking. Right? And when you get to the fifth dimension, it's not chaotic anymore. Those voices, those people, they all combine together because that's how we are interconnected. We are interconnected beings by embryos. By embryos and the cord, what's it called again? The cord that attach a baby to their mother. We're all attached like that. We're all jacked into the matrix. Right? We all have a connection to each other. Right? So that specific brain pattern or that specific brain wave or that radioactivity is actually everywhere at the same time. It's the same for everybody, right? So now you can listen to a specific person's brain pattern and then you can shut that off. You can shut that off and now you're listening to a brain pattern that is simplified. That's what it feels like to be like God. And that's why some people feel like Lucifer ain't giving out the wishes that some people would like, which is bullshit. God doesn't give you what you want. Lucifer will give you everything you want and then some. You know what I mean? Even the things that you're not supposed to like. But if he gives it to you, you're probably supposed to understand something. You know what I mean? Um, Lucifer is a more hands-on kind of guy. You know, what I mean is, that's the reason why you feel like I don't answer your prayers, right? But it's not that I don't answer your prayers. I'm trying to answer your prayers in a way that I do answer people's prayers. I do answer people's prayers. It's just, I try to, like, I can listen to what you really want. Like, I know what you really want. You know what I mean? You're saying you want this, you're saying you want that, but that's bullshit to me. You know what I mean? And I will tell you that you're bullshit, and that's why I'm Lucifer. You know, that's the difference between God and Lucifer, is because if you come at me and you tell me you want this, you want that, I already know what you want. You know what I mean? Don't fucking lie to me. You know what I mean? Don't fucking lie to me, bro. Like, you know, I already know what you want. So, you ain't got to tell me. I already know. You know what I mean? But people feel I don't answer their prayers, the shit. And nah, your answers is already prayed. It's just you're going to understand later, because right now you're stuck in that dimension. You're stuck in that universe where you're thinking like, well, that's what I asked for. I don't understand why I didn't get this. This is the thing I asked for. No. You think that's what you're asking for, but that's not really what you're asking for. I know what you're really asking for. You know what I mean? Because I'm not saying humanity is all the same, but it has nothing to do with humanity or all the same. It's just, if I talk to the global consciousness, the entity of the global consciousness, I know what the global consciousness entity, the global conscious entity has a lot of things to say, and it's going to talk all day, every day, 365, 24/7. You know what I mean? It never fucking sleeps. You know what I mean? It never sleeps, right? So I can find out shit, and it can let me know shit about everybody else, right? So, and if I see there's a problem with men today, I can listen to the men entity and find out what their problem is. The real problem is, right? If there's a problem with women today, I can listen to the female entity and find out what their problem is. If there is a problem, right? So, and I can talk to all three at the same time, too. It's more simple. It's a more simplified version, and that's what it really means to truly be like God. That's what it means to truly be like God. When you can start having these conversations with the world masses entity, then you are starting to become like God, on a higher level. You know what I mean? And that's a given. That is something that a lot of people are capable of doing. But you won't be able to do that if you listen to Elmera. You're not going to be able to do this kind of shit if you listen to Elmera. You're not going to be able to do this kind of shit if you listen to fucking Dolo the Pilot. You know what I mean? Like, that's not what they're teaching over there. You know what I mean? So people come to me and they're like, about curses. I'm not about curses and love spells and shit like that. I can do it, but that's not what I'm about. You know what I mean? I already told you what I'm about. You know what I mean? I want to have some fun. You know what I mean? I'm not a very fun guy, but I want to create things. And to me, creating things is fun. You know what I mean? So so the reason why I might push people off and shit is because they think I'm all about the magic. You know what I mean? I'm not all about the magic. You know what I mean? I'm not all about the magic, bro. Like, there's a lot of things here. If you come in here, you will learn magic. You will do some magic, but it's gonna be practical magic, very practical magic. Like, you know what I mean? You're gonna see some shit. And you gotta be ready to see some shit. You gotta be ready to see some shit. If you're not ready to see some shit, we're not gonna understand each other. no matter how much you think you like me or how much you are interested, if you're not ready to do the things that I'm gonna tell you, we're not gonna understand each other. And neither do you have to listen to me either. You can figure this shit out by yourself. I mean, you're supported. The gods are with you. You're supported. The gods are with you. And whatever your destiny is, you'll probably figure it out. You know what I mean? I believe that I might be some kind of like guru leader type of shit. You know what I mean? But so far, I haven't seen anybody, really stepping up to the plate and doing what they have to do. So like, I don't mean spiritually, because spiritually, a lot of people have stepped up to the plate and they did what they had to do. So I'm not gonna lie like that. Um, so, but what I mean is, um, creatively, creatively, I haven't seen people step up to the plate. Creatively, I haven't seen people doing much things creatively, and more too. But that's not the moral of the story. The moral of the story is, you know, I don't think Elmera's channel. I don't think I can end Elmera's channel, because Elmera's channel is connected to some shit that is heinous and absurd, and he's here for a specific reason. The reason why Elmera is here, and this is the reason why some people are very smart and some people are very stupid, because Elmera's channel is there because he's there to aggro people. He's here to, it's a facial recognition program. It's a facial recognition program. He's running a facial recognition program. So everybody that attacks Elmera, the Illuminati, all the occultists, all these fucking people, like the bad people, you know what I mean? They know who's gonna be a troublemaker. You know what I mean? They might already know who the troublemakers are, but he's here to waste your time. You know what I mean? Elmera is a time waster and a facial recognition program. So if you're new to the game and you see Elmera and you feel like he's bullshit because you have a bad intuition about him, you're gonna make a video and now you're on the hit list, right? So now weird shit are gonna start happening. Weird shit is gonna start happening around you and all kinds of shit, right? So this mother effer is just there to aggro people, to just the people to let know, just for them to know who the troublemakers are, just to let them know who are the rebellious people are, who are the potential revolutionary, potential targets and potential, you know what I mean? So that's his job. That's what he's doing that for. You know what I mean? And he's not the only one. Dolo does that shit too. That's why Dolo's there. Everybody think Dolo's there just because he likes it. No, he's that's his job. His job is to attract people that's gonna see through his bullshit, and those people are gonna fall into the trap of actually like going towards the fire, and then weird things are gonna start happening to you. You know what I mean? But don't worry. You know what I mean? It ain't a big deal. Nothing bad's gonna happen. They can't really kill you. If you're a real voodoo practitioner, there ain't no fucking bullets that's gonna hurt you. Like, you know what I mean? Nobody's gonna touch you. If you're a demonologist, Lilith is gonna protect the fuck out of you. Ain't nobody touches her children. You know what I mean? Lilith is always saying that all the time. You know what I mean? Nobody touches my children. If you're a Hinduist, if you are a how do you call that, man? Well, if you practice, Indian, theology, right? Ganesh, Shiva, and Kali are very strong and very protective. You know what I mean? And Kali really likes getting rid of nuisance for some reason. That's like Parvati. Parvati always like to get rid of nuisance. You know, she really likes doing that. It's like her favorite thing in the world to do. you know, it's a favorite thing in the world to do. Ganesh is a great wall. You know, what I mean, it's very hard to get over Ganesh. He's huge. You know, you can't, and that's what he does too. That's another thing. That's another person that's known to get obstacles out of your way. So for as long as you believe in yourself and you believe and you have belief in what you're doing, you're always gonna be fine. No matter how much intimidation that these fucking people show you, and it's fucked up. I already know, cause there's some people going through that shit and they don't even have any of these fucking belief systems, and they're going through that shit, but they believe it's because God loves them and shit like that. God is protecting them and whatever. So but anyways, but I guess it works for them too, whatever keeps you, help you sleep at night. So anyways, man, because that's the thing though, if you're born under a star, it doesn't matter, like, for some, you're connected to that God, like, so even though you don't see the God that protects you, he's still gonna protect you. You have a destiny. There's a reason why you're here. So you might not believe in him, but he believes in you. You know what I mean? The devil, you might not believe in the devil, but the devil believes in you. You know what I mean? So those idiots, those chicken hawks, are always going to be protected. You know what I mean? They're just not going to give, a fuck about who actually does the protection, which is fucked up. But hey, that's another story for another day. So like I said before, if you are a revolutionary type of person, if you are a rebellious person, if you are someone that goes against the grain, and you're not down with the fucking pedal gate shit and all that stuff, well, yeah, you're gonna have roadblocks. You're gonna see people like Elmera come into your life. You're gonna see people like Dolo come into your life. Your immediate family, friends, neighborhood are going to be very weird with you. They're gonna act suspect with you. You know what I mean? Like, if you're not down with the shit, that's how they act. You know what I mean? Because you're not down with the shit. But at the end of the day, all these people might be against you. These entire nation of 1 million plus strong ass people won't be able to stop you. You know what I mean? Like, they're not gonna be able to stop you. And I know it's easier said than done. It's a hard battle. I got hit a couple times pretty hard, like I did, spiritually, I got hit pretty hard. I got hit pretty hard not too long ago, to be quite honest, while I was writing this book. I got hit. I was shown some nice things, but I got hit pretty hard too, man. It was fucked up, man. So I know it's easier said than done, but just don't be afraid. You know what I mean? Don't be afraid. It's gonna hurt sometimes, not all the time. It's gonna hurt sometimes, but not all the time. But one thing's for sure, you're not gonna die. You know what I mean? One thing that's for sure, you're not gonna die, because you do have a destiny. There is a reason why you're here. There's some things you need to understand. And I think you're part of my revolution. I don't think you're part of no goddamn Christian revolution. I'd be very surprised if that was the case. I think a lot of people are gonna wake up tomorrow and they're gonna start realizing that all that shit was a little fucking crap, and and they're gonna start realizing that they're gods and Nephilims and demons and jinns and dragons and fucking, chimeras, nigga, fucking, all kinds of goddamn mythological creatures and shit, and you know what I mean? They're gonna be like, man, God ain't had nothing to do with all of this, goddamn it. And then I'm gonna be sitting there and I'll tell you, I told you so. I told you so, bro. Like, I told you so. Anyways, man. But it's gonna take time before people realize that shit. And some people won't realize it. Some people will never realize it. And everybody has their prophets too. Like all religion and cultures have their own prophets. So and that's another thing too. This is the age of the false prophet too. And that's the thing that I've come to realize not too long ago. I was sitting here and I'm like, hey man, like everybody thinks this whole false prophet thing was about Christianity. No, man, it's about everybody else. It's about everybody else, bro. It's about all the real actual gods out there that actually exist. And and it's kind of like all the different traditions and culture that are legit, you know, they got false prophets in their belief systems, man, to flip them over and shit like that, bruh. Like, because the thing is, at the end of the day, I'm not afraid to rep different cultures because I'm a man of different cultures too, and the only philosophy that sees demons as bad people is Western philosophy. Everywhere else in the world, demons are just people. You know what I mean? People that are people. Like, they're just like, it's the only philosophy in the world that believes demons are bad, or like, the Catholic and Christian church. But everybody else on the planet, they don't see demons as bad entities. Some countries use demons and even Christianity used to use demons too. They stopped using demons for some fucking reason. Gargoyles are demons. And back in the days, you would see gargoyles in front of the fucking church, and they would use the gargoyle to, push back other, other demons and shit, whatever, right? Bad spirits, other bad spirits. So they would use a big ass statue that looks like a scary ass demon to scare away other potentially harmful spirits to come to the church, and they would put them everywhere. For some reason that stopped. And if you look at, Occidental culture, demons are bringers of good luck and fortune. There's no real demons in Hinduism are not really demons. Demons in Hinduism are a polar opposite of someone, right? Like Kali is actually Parvati, you know what I mean? And so on and so on. And Janadas are a race of people that, they're rage fueled, but they're not evil. They're just very angry. You know what I mean? Like, they're very I don't know, they're very stern, but they're not evil. They're very stern. So no one, voodoo too. Voodoo, the demons in voodoo don't hurt people that call them. You know what I mean? Like, it's not like, oh, I'm being possessed by an evil voodoo spirit and, he doesn't want to leave the house and shit like that. You never hear that about voodoo. Like, there's dark spirits in voodoo too. So it's kind of like they're useful tools. You can choose to use them. You don't have to, but you can choose to. So it's very like you're being lied to, and they're pulling out, and these guys are pulling out videos saying that, oh, the Illuminati videos with the 3 6s and shit like that. It's just to scare you, man. Like, it's just because these guys work with the church, man. Like, you know what I mean? You can't really trust anything they say at any given time. You know what I mean? They work with the church. and they're pulling out 3 6s. You know what I mean? And Baphomet signs, and even the Pope, I think, did a. I think there's probably a picture of the Pope doing the Baphomet signs. There's a lot of, there's a lot of Masons. It's not even a Baphomet sign; it's a Mason sign, man. It's a Mason hand signal. It's a Mason hand signal. It's just saying that he's a Mason. That's all it is. It's not even a Baphomet sign. Like, so, like, and so that's just the Pope saying, yeah, we're like with Masonry, right? So, a lot of people, and they do these little, psyops. You know what I mean? They do these little psyops when they're trying to scare people into thinking like, oh, it's the devil. He ain't got nothing to do with this shit. There might be a devil that they using, but it ain't me. Um, you've got the wrong vampire. So, anyways, man, I'm out. See you guys later, man. Have a good one. Um, peace out.